And welcome back. The Special Investigating Unit, or the SIU Special Tribunal, will decide today if an order will be made to freeze the bank accounts of companies responsible for the construction of the controversial border fence between Zimbabwe and South Africa, which cost the state almost 40 million rand. Now, the SIU told Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts, or SCOPA, that it is waiting for the go-ahead from the Special Tribunal to freeze the accounts of Caledon River Properties CC, trading as Magwa Construction, and Profteam CC. Patricia de Lille, who is the Minister of Public Works, who was responsible for the project, is expected to answer to SCOPA about her involvement in the Beitbridge border fence. Advocate Selby Makgotho, the spokesperson for the SIU Special Tribunal, joins us now to talk more about this. Advocate, good morning and welcome once more to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sagina. Thank you very much. Good morning to the viewers.
So today, the Special Tribunal will hear arguments to freeze the bank accounts of the construction companies. What still needs to be done or discussed at this stage in order for that decision to be made today?
Well, thanks very much. What will be happening today at 10 o'clock at the Special Tribunal sitting in the Boyces Magistrates Court in Johannesburg is that we will hear an urgent application brought forward by the Special Investigating Unit being the applicant. There are two companies, that is Caledon River Properties CC Ltd as well as Profteam CC, which are cited as first and second respondent. Minister de Lille is cited as a third respondent. Director General Vukela San is the fourth, and the acting Chief Financial Officer Juanita Prinsloo is the fifth in terms of the court papers. So basically, it's an urgent application. Arguments will be led at the end of the day, and a determination will so be made. But I need to also indicate that there are two sides of the press that will be presented today. Firstly, it is an application to freeze the bank accounts of the two first respondents, that is Profteam and Caledon. The second part of the application deals with the department, wherein an application is to the effect that an amount of 21.8 billion, I heard earlier you said 14, but in terms of the court papers, we have an application is around 21.8 billion that the department had already paid, allegedly, even before the work commenced. So the department is being interdicted as per the application to make sure that the remaining part of the money, which is supposed to be cumulatively an amount of 40.4 million, is not paid pending action or institution of further civil proceedings. So those arguments will be today, and at the end of the day, we anticipate that they should be finalized everything to be. The determination will so be.
So on Tuesday, Parliament heard that the SIU is pursuing civil litigation to recover the money that had been paid to the service providers and, of course, any damages that were caused to the department. But can you elaborate for us, Advocate, about some of those damages that we are talking about specifically?
Well, I will only confine myself to what is contained in the court papers. And at issue here is the 40-kilometer borderline razor mesh fence at the Beitbridge border post in Limpopo, which is at the center of the dispute. So quite a number of allegations are being advanced in court papers to the effect that procurement procedures were allegedly not followed. The payment was done even before the work commenced. Allegations of impropriety, allegations of influencing to the appointment of the service providers, alleged violations and breaches to the Public Finance Management Act and other legislative prescriptions governing procurement. So all those are contained in the court papers, and the parties today will come and argue before the Special Tribunal on the merits of this case. And at the end of it all, as I indicated earlier, we expect two parts of the application. Firstly, being to freeze the bank accounts And also, I think there is also an issue just accompanying the first part of the process to the effect that where the respondents are unable to provide any, they should be in a position to provide guarantee checks, which will ensure that the monies remain preserved pending the institution of civil proceedings. And furthermore, that supporting the fact that the department is interdicted from paying the balance, so that at the end of the day, because the total contract price was 40 million, of which 21.8 been paid, that the remaining part is not paid. So those are the four cornerstones of the application.
And then, Advocate, the SIU has also indicated that 4 criminal matters were actually referred to the National Prosecuting Authority. So action will be taken against the companies involved, some officials. But talk to us about, whether there are further investigations at this time, whether you are actually looking at implicating more people in this regard.
Well, from where we are seated as a special tribunal, based on the application before us, we have not yet been made aware of other processes underway, especially the criminal part of it. Well, it might have happened that during the course of the investigations, some elements of alleged criminality might have been picked up. And as a result of that process, the procedure governing proceedings in law is that should any alleged evidence be picked up at the level of investigations, it will be immediately referred to criminal investigating bodies such as the Hawks, such as the National Prosecuting Authority. But because at the moment, the point where we are is that we are ready to proceed with the institution of the civil proceedings, hence the application today. So once arguments begin to be led, obviously the merits of the case that being put together this morning at 10 is then that at the end of it all, based on the application, based on the arguments, a determination will be made. And I'm sure that if the orders are so granted, then they will be executed as such.
Well, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Advocate Selby Makgotho from the SIU Special Tribunal, talking to us about the possibility of the bank accounts of the construction companies involved in the Beitbridge border fence being frozen, and that application being heard later today. And that brings us up to time for news headlines here on Morning Live.